What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Psych Reacts. I am Poseidon, and today we will be talking about the case of Chris Watts. If you do not know, Chris Watts turned from a loving, caring father into a cold-blooded murderer. He murdered his wife and his two little girls that you see here on screen. Allegedly, this was all done due to an affair that he had with some coworker, and he wanted a new start. So instead of getting a divorce, his thought process was to eliminate his entire family to get that fresh start. This video is from Dr. Phil's YouTube channel. You can go check it out if you want, but this will be recapping everything about the case, and in the next coming weeks we will be diving further and further into this situation. We'll be looking at body language, case evidence, the interviews that happened before he was convicted, the trial, and even the weeks leading up to the murders. So this will just introduce us to the case and get us familiar with what's going on. Let's go ahead and hit play.
Concern in Frederick right now about a pregnant woman who's missing along with her two daughters.
With a grieving father and husband left behind.
I have no idea where they went.
They did a close-in shot. His eyes were neither red nor swollen. This was not a man that had been up all night, worried and crying.
He also gave smiles and laughter that was completely improper when he was talking about Bella. He says, she was. That's final. As an investigator, that jumps out to me as he knows that she's already gone.
So this interview right here that they're looking at was the interview when they went missing. They were talking to him, asking him questions, and I think he even did a interview that went out on live television as a come back home, we miss you type thing, like pleading to whoever took her to bring her back. But he already knows what happened to her because he murdered them. So he knows what happened, but he's acting like he doesn't. Now, when she mentions his eyes and the close-up, this is not a man who is worried about where his wife is and his two children. This is a man that knows what is happening and is trying to keep calm so as to not lead on the police that he knows where they are. He also refers to his children in past tense, which is kind of odd considering that a husband is not showing any hope for finding his wife or his children. He says they were going into kindergarten. Bella was about to start kindergarten. Keyword was. He's already referring to them as if they were gone. That's because he knows what happened to them. So as an investigator, this really jumped out at him because he refers to her in the past tense as if he knows she was already gone. So usually you would say she's about to start kindergarten, like she needs to come back home, instead of already accepting the truth. Let's go ahead and continue.
He knows that she's already gone.
And watch him licking his lips. Psychologically, he's trying to wipe away everything he's saying.
In a video confession days later, Watts told his father he murdered Shannon in a fit of rage, claiming she killed their children.
So this interview right here we will be talking about a little bit later. This is when they had him in an interview room and he wanted to talk to his father. This was right after the lie detector test and they found some indiscrepancies. So he said that he wanted to talk to his father and they said, all right, well, if you talk to your father, tell him what's going on so that we can figure out what's going on too. And here he comes up with this story of Shanann killed the kids, therefore I freaked out and killed her. Now, I will go into this a little bit more in detail when we actually look at this specific interview, because I feel like the tester for the lie detector exam kind of put this idea in his head, but we'll talk about that more when we actually look at this specific interview.
The husband of a missing pregnant woman is in jail and now charged with her murder.
We have two kids, we live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Despite portraying a happy family on social media, text messages between Shannon and Watts in the weeks leading up to the murders showed a fractured relationship. Prosecutors say Watts killed his family because of an affair he was having with a co-worker, Nicole Kessinger.
So Shanann was very highly active on social media. I think she worked in the social media business of some sort. She was always uploading and posting stuff on her social media, especially on Facebook. She was very active. They showed a happy family. They were living life, you know, showed him being a very family man. But then behind the scenes, when you look at their text messages, which was shown in the Netflix film, it shows that they were actually having a lot of problems, which of course, you know, when you post on social media, it may not always be what's actually happening. It just might be what you want people to see. So we obviously see that in this family because he is having an affair with this woman from his work. And let's listen to what Dr. Phil has to say about that.
With the co-worker Nicole Kessinger.
Take a look at that picture of her and his wife. Do you notice they look an awful lot alike?
So isn't that creepy? I actually didn't notice this when I was watching the film and all that, but they actually really do look so much alike. Like, look at all those features. They look so much alike. You could tell that he has a type, right? You could tell that there is some sort of pattern here. So I wonder if he got away with these murders and was with the girl that he was having an affair with and actually like followed through with the life, had kids. I wonder if he would do the same thing in a couple of years, right? Say they had children and say they were together for a while and then he eventually got bored and wanted to move on. Would he have killed this woman and her children and moved on to another person that looked somewhat like these two women? That's something else to take into consideration. Let's keep moving.
Now the question remains, where are their bodies?
He allegedly told investigators where to find their bodies on a property owned by the company he worked for.
If the senseless deaths of their loved ones weren't enough, the discovery of their bodies was gut-wrenching.
Shannon's body was found in a shallow grave near the girls' bodies, submerged for days in storage tanks filled with crude oil.
He had to break.
Now that's what's a little bit confusing to me. Why would he bury the wife and then dump the children in the oil tanks like they were trash? Listen to this. It might be a little bit gruesome, so viewer discretion advised.
He had to break their bones to get them in there.
And when they tried to lift the girls up, their skin came off.
Christopher Watts has been charged with...
So why did he have such disconnection toward his own children? And even his wife, too. But, I don't know, why take the time to bury the mother but not the children? That's a little bit confusing. I don't know why. I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Maybe he just ran out of time or he panicked and said, all right, I'm gonna bury the wife and then the children will fit in the tanks and nobody will ever find them. I don't know. That's strange. Let me know what you think down in the comments.
3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of tampering with evidence.
His motive was simple, Your Honor. He had a desire for a fresh start. Get a divorce. You don't annihilate your family and throw them away like garbage.
Court sentenced murderer Chris Watts to life in prison for killing his pregnant wife and daughters.
I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. You heartless monster. Prison is too good for you.
When you say, Dr. Phil, who does this? Who does this is a malignant, narcissist psychopath. That's what makes these people so dangerous.
More than 3 months after confessing to murdering his pregnant wife and 2 daughters, Chris Watts is sharing new details about the night he killed them in his home in Frederick. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation says last month in a Wisconsin prison, Watts met with federal and local investigators. According to the CBI, he offered new information about the murders of his pregnant wife, Shanann, and daughters Bella and Celeste.
So Dr. Phil refers to Chris Watts as a malignant, narcissistic psychopath. Now, you can really tell how narcissistic Chris Watts is during this whole investigation and leading up to his trial because he was very involved in the investigation of finding his wife and daughters. He was so involved and it was just so suspicious. Over the next few weeks, we will be looking at the events that led up to him being caught. We'll look at the trial, the investigation, the day that it happened, the interviews, and the lie detector test. All of that will be covered in the next coming weeks. This was just a little bit of a recap and an introduction to the next few videos. We'll be diving into this investigation and this case, hands-on and picking everything apart on this channel. So if you want to see that and you're excited to see the Chris Watts case be explored on this channel, be sure to drop a like down below. We will be going into more detail in the next coming weeks, so hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. We are on the way to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for the support. I truly do appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments if there's any specific scenes that you would like me to see. You can also link them to videos, and I will put that all into one montage, and we'll be looking at it all together. There is a lot of things that I want to approach in this case. There's a lot of things that I find super interesting, so I'm super excited to dive into this case together, and I hope you guys will enjoy it too. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace!